This first canto is about Adhikar Tattva. It is telling what is the Adhikar of a person who want to listen to Bhagavatam. So that's why from 7th chapter to 19th chapter it is all devoted to Parikshit Maharaj to show what type of personality he is and what is the qualification to hear Bhagavatam. Of course, there are three different categories of people that are explained, three different sets of people. First is Suta Goswami and Savanaka Rishis, and then there is Narada and Vyasa, and then Sudeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. And this is a different level in the detachment process. The more Suta Goswami and Savanaka Rishis have mixed faith little bit, and that is a one batch of discussion. And then there is Narada and Vyasa. But even compared to Narada and Vyasa, Parikshit Maharaj Sukadeva Goswami is the what do you say, the conversation between them is considered the highest, like that. In that way, we see that here Parikshit Maharaj, because the level of detachment what Parikshit had is the highest. If you compare with Vyas Maharshi and Sukadeva Goswami, Sukadeva Goswami seems to be more detached than Vyas Maharshi. Of course, it's a pastime. Vyas Maharshi is incarnation of Lord, but still Sukadeva Goswami is glorified and it is considered the highest. Then we have the conversation. This is what is happening. And now from here, Parikshit Maharaj asked two questions. First, he asked the sages who assembled there that what is the duty of a person who is dying and what is duty of people in general. And then when Sudha Goswami comes, he asks that what is the duty, what should be done and what should not be done. This is how he asks. So what need to be done, what need not to be done, especially a person who is dying. And we discussed this previously that anybody who is in this born in this material world, jatas hi dhruv mrityu, dhruvam janma matasya. We are destined to die. That is the truth. That means this is applicable to us all the time. And we discussed why, as soon as this question is asked, Sudhir Goswami, he did not do any Mangalacharan. He does Mangalacharan in 14th chapter, sorry, 4th chapter. But immediately he starts appreciating the questions of Parikshit Maharaj. Are Varyash Neshite Prashna Krito Lokahatam Napa Atma Samte Pumsam Rotavyadis because he was feeling, oh, this is such a very important question. Not everybody asks it. Everybody should get this question. I never got this. What should be a duty of a person who is dying? Because I never thought I'll die, and now also I don't feel that much realization is there. But a person who is very thoughtful and very deep, he will immediately have this question. Yes, I may die one day. What should I be doing now? I don't know when I'll die. That's why he is immediately appreciating. And then he criticizes the materialistic people, very left, right, center. He says, Srota Vyadini Rajendra, Ninam Santasasrasha, Apashyatam Atmatattvam Griheshu Grihamedina. So, what is this people? Apashyatam Atma Tattva. They cannot understand this Atma Tattva. They are Griheshu and Griha Medina. Medhi is actually, there is a, like the cows and bulls, they are tied to a pole and they rotate around that pole only. This is called Medhi. And similarly, this Grahasthas, they are called Graha Medhi because they have a particular point around which they are rotating. They cannot go beyond it. That means they are so much self-centered. This is why they are called Graha Medhis. They're just the point, they are stuck there. And now what is happening is money, women, or beauty, or so many other things will be the center in which they are rotating. Now they have to replace with Krishna. That is only hope. Otherwise, there is no hope. That's there. So much selfishness is there. And if you see this, we have discussed. Those who are materially engrossed, blinded to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society. That's what happens. So many news channels, so many entertainment channels, so many morning people start with news only. They want so many things to hear, and everybody is victim. Of course, I am also victim. So many. Of course, I don't have any access to the news channels and all. I don't keep myself. But the point is, if I am given, I have so much of weakness, because in the college I should at least 4 or 5 different newspapers every day minimum. I go to library. That is my favorite place. And first thing you do is just go and see all the newspapers, uh, and I learn many languages learned by reading newspapers. That means so much things we want to know about this world. That weakness is there now also. But this is not important only. That's what when Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, okay, Guru knows everything. No? Then how many windows are there in Empire State Building? Prabhupada says, how many drops are there in a mirage? That means the news of this world is, it's all same only. Because now anybody is doing something wrong, next life he will get the payment for it. Say if somebody is, he has stolen some property of, and he has burned the house, he has destroyed it. Next life he will be born, and it will happen to him, and it is a news for us. Oh, his house is burned, his car is burnt, or he's got flooded, or he has robbery, or something happened to him. Why it happened? Because he did last time something. That's why it happening. Nobody is innocent only in this world, because we think people are innocent and something is happening to them. If they are innocent, why they are in this material world? First of all, nobody is innocent. This is a big illusion. They say, oh, they are small children, they must be innocent. Nobody is innocent. Small children means there is just time gap before he becomes a big villain only. That's all. Because it's all coming from past life. Nobody is innocent in this. And now we see that, oh, so many like this thing happened in this place, that thing happened, war is happening, and some fight is happening, or elections are happening. Everything is happening because the karma is like that. That's all. Something good is happening to some people, he became very rich, he became very famous, he became this movie, that movie. Everything is just karma only. This fellow did that karma, he's getting reaction for it. Why it is a big news? It should not be a big news all the time. It should not be breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. It's just waste of time. Need not take it so seriously, because this just actions and reaction, action and reaction. That's what is going on in this world. Shrotavyadinandya ninam santi sahasrasha apashyatam. If somebody is seeing the reality of this world, then he will not get so much affected by it. That's what Prabhupada is also. This is and one more interesting about the enviousness. This is just 2 3 points I want to say on this. And we have discussed this. Again, I'll read this purport. It's the first part I'll read. And now you see, Graha Medis, however, are those who live only for the benefit of family members, extended or centralized, and thus are envious of others. This is what is Graha Medi. First is that I told now they are rotating around one point, one particular point, like a cow is tied. They're so selfish. They cannot think beyond it. And this happens the college times. Now, many of the students, if you see, they are little selfless. But as soon as they get married, the boys, and they have their wife and children, immediately they become more selfish. I have seen my friends, because they were very selfless before, at the time of college and all. Once they got married, have children, they completely became selfish. I was thinking, oh, he was a very good boy. Why he became like this? Because your center was not proper. When you are not married, then you have everything. You are not attached to anything. But once you become attached to something, then this happens. The word Medi indicates jealousy of others. Now, another important why there is jealousy, because if people want to enjoy in this material world, then what happens? Immediately becomes envious of others. The reason is because others are enjoying more than me. He has more facilities, he has more talents, he has more many things, more way of enjoying, and then it immediately we say, I want to enjoy like him, and we get ideas. Now, when we see somebody is enjoying in a different ways, all our ideas come from others only. Array, he will come and tell, he will post that I went to Thailand and came and I enjoyed like this. Immediately says, yes, I should also go to Thailand, and I have a big house. I am enjoying like this. I enjoy a party. I enjoy to this hotel. And the advertisements also they are shown like that only. They'll show somebody is enjoying, and you also have an opportunity. And now because I don't have opportunity, I cannot have a OD car or a Benz car. Then they think maybe I'll sell my one of the kidneys and I'll also purchase. Means the point is, yes, this actually people think also, and I have seen people talking and thinking in that direction. The point is what? As soon as we want to enjoy in this metal world, na, we become envious because somebody is doing better than me. That's why. And here, that's why Professor, the word Medhi indicates jealousy of others. The Graha Medhi is being interested in family affairs only, are certainly envious of others. There is no option only. As soon as this is first thing. Second thing is, as soon as if I say this is mine, then we become envious. First is when I want to enjoy in this world, I'm envious. Second is if I say this is mine, then also we are envious. Because you see, this is mine, and then I have my compound wall, my house, and I'll put the kachra in the on the road or here there. My house should be neat. My house should be this. My house should be this. Everything should be there in that. As soon as if you say mine, we are envious. That's why sadhus are non-envious, because they don't think anything is theirs. That's why it is very easy for them to be nirmatsaranam satam. They can understand Bhagavatam because they are non-envious. They can they don't have attachment to any of these worldly things. That becomes very easy for them to be non-envious of any living entity. Because if I am seeing somebody is enjoying, then me, he is going around all the world and going to all the big hotels, and he's staying and here there, he's enjoying with so many types of luxurious things, car, this that, and he has so many friends and so many people are behind him. Then immediately there is a desire, oh, he is enjoying so much, he is enjoying so much. But a sadhu, he knows that this is like a dream only. Like if I am getting a dream and you are getting a dream, if you are getting a better dream and I am envious, he is getting a better dream than me. He is getting he is going to heaven and he is enjoying some somras, apsaras and dance and all. But it is in dream only. But I am going to some local pub and enjoy. But both are how much serious we take if somebody says my dream was good. Similarly, sadhu sees that this world is a dream place, so he does not become envious somebody is enjoying. Rather, he becomes very compassionate. Arre, this fellow is unnecessarily wasting his time and all these things which is of no value only, like that. And that's why they are not envious. But whereas Graham, this is they are interested in family affairs only. This is the reason. If they're only interested, and they're certainly envious of others. Therefore, that is why grihasthasna, they should bring sadhus to home and serve them, so that slowly the selfishness will go away. And that's why they are told, you always bring guests to your house and serve them, feed prasadam, invite guests, because that will reduce that envious tendency. Therefore, one grihastha is not on good terms with another grihastha. And in the extended form, on one community, society, or nation is not in good terms with another counterpart of selfish interest. In the age of Kali, all the householders are jealous of one another because they are blind of knowledge to ultimate truth. This is actually what is happening. Because as long as soon as I think that I want to enjoy, I want to this is mine, immediately this finish. There are many subject matters. And another important thing, if we have so many other subjects to discuss now, then also we are envious. If the subject matter is not Krishna, immediately there is envy in that. If we are reading newspaper, watching TV and all, that will only increase our envy. Because we see that people are doing it in a better way, it is not happening the way I want. He's he's uh, we become envious of other party people. If they are winning, I am not winning. Why he is winning? And because we identify with certain party, we identify with certain things, Pakistan is making better or China is making better, then people will become envious. So this is actually what happens. So anytime the discussion, because with Krishna to become envious na, it is little difficult. Of course people are envious of Krishna, so they are demonic mentality, but we cannot compare with Krishna. We can compare with others and become envious. Anyway, this is a very important understanding we all need to have. And there are many subject matters which they discuss, and but due to poor fund of knowledge, they set aside the questions of ultimate miseries of, I'm sorry, suddenly going to go. Yeah, they have many subjects for hearing, but due to poor fund of knowledge, they set aside, the questions of ultimate miseries of life, namely miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. Factually, a human life is meant for making an ultimate solution to these things. And but the Grahamedis, being illusioned by material nature, forget everything about self-realization. If you go around, you see most of the people, because I'm in Vrindavan, I don't see everybody is interested here in spirituality and Krishna. But any other city you take, whole city, nobody interested to get solutions. They are just interested how to enjoy here, how to enjoy here, how to enjoy here, and they are making all sorts of arrangement for it. And because they want to enjoy here, they are completely envious. And as long as we continue to remain envious, we can never understand Bhagavatam. That is a problem. Like that. The ultimate solution to all problems of life is to go back home, back to God. We'll see the next shloka. This is also very important shloka. Nidra hyete naktam yavayena chavavayaha divacharti haya rajan kutumba bharanenava. The lifetime of such an envious householder. Here there is no envy word. Of course, there is envy word in the previous shloka. Graha medhina. Medhi proposes is envious. And he says that person, Nidra hyete naktam. What is such a lifetime of such an envious householder is passed at night either in sleeping or in sex intelligence, or in the daytime either in making money or maintaining family members. This is Sukhdev Goswami's conclusion. He is telling, Arey, these people, they are just Graha Medina. They are just asked so many nonsense and discussing on nonsense things. Daytime in earning money, nighttime in sleeping. And Prabhupada writes, the present human civilization primarily based on the principles of sleeping and sex intelligence at night and earning money in the daytime and spending the same for family maintenance. Such a form of human civilization condemned in the Bhagavatam school. That will not work only. Unfortunately, people not understanding. They feel that these spiritualists, they are too pessimistic. They always talk negative. No, they are talking, they are realistic. They are talking reality. Reality is they are going to die one day. That is reality. What is the value? They say, okay, now we at least have enjoyed something. Okay, you enjoyed, but if you are, not the body only, what is the value of that enjoyment? I am spirit soul. I am not the body only. So the pleasure which we gave is to the thing that is not actually very of much value. But if I can give pleasure to the soul, that should be considered as more success in life. Because I am soul only. I am just identifying with the body and I am working to give pleasure to the body. That is the problem. But if you know you are not the body only, you are spirit soul, give pleasure to the soul. That will be much more satisfying to the heart. Like that. Because human life is a combination of matter and spirit soul, the whole process of Vedic knowledge is directed at liberating the spirit soul from the contamination of matter. The knowledge concerning this is called Atma Tattva. Those men who are too materialistic are unaware of this knowledge and are more inclined to economic development for material enjoyment. Such materialistic men are called karmis or fruitive laborers. and they are allowed regulated economic development association of women for sex indulgence. Those who are above karmis and jnanis and yogis, the devotees, are strictly prohibited from sex indulgence. The karmis are more or less devoid of Atma Tattva knowledge, and as such, their life is spent without spiritual profit. The human life is not meant for hard labor for economic development, nor is meant for sex indulgence like that of dogs and hogs. It is especially meant for making a solution to the problems of life and the miseries thereof. For the karmis waste their valuable life, human life, by sleeping and sex indulgence at night, and by laboring hard in daytime to accumulate wealth, and after doing so, they try to improve the standard of materialistic life. The materialistic way of life is described here in a nutshell, and how foolish men waste the boon of human life is described as follows. Now, what happened is this one nice thing in this material world. Now, after some time, you get saturated with it. You don't feel any more pleasure. That time, if people take to spirituality, that will be at least benefiting for further life. But what happens? People, after enjoying something, they don't get any pleasure. They then think maybe we are not trying in a right way, and they go for artificial ways of enjoying, and they want to get stuck up there only. They are not trying to come out of it. They are not understanding. Are there is no pleasure. That means there is something higher pleasure. No, no, no. I want that type of pleasure only. Punah punah charvita charvanana. Even though there is no pleasure in that activity anymore, people continue to doing it. When any material thing, na, that is if I am eating, like say I like certain food item, I eat. After some time, I don't find any pleasure in it. Then I say, no, no, let me try in different hotel. In Vrindavan, you have different options. Let me try Govindas, then there is MVT, then there is regular Prasadam, then there is uh, public khichdi, and then you can go to Agrasen also, then there is Balaji also. I'm just naming some of the places where devotees go and eat. We try different options. I say, oh, anyway, let it be. Let me be happy with the khichdi that is given. But we try different things. That is what people are trying to do in any area. Material pleasure, now it is saturated. Even in the relation with man and woman, after some time it is no more pleasure. It's all responsibility only. It's no more. It's not of pleasure. It's all big headache and responsibility, because that's a payment for the enjoyment they want to take. If they don't want to enjoy, there is no payment only. Every enjoyment in this material world has a payment. If you enjoy so much of food, different varieties of food, then if then there is a payment for it also. Future, there will be different types of diseases. And of course, if somebody has very good pious credit, then he may not have to suffer so much. But nevertheless, for most of the people, it's very bad. It will be big payment only. Same thing, any area, if you want to enjoy, you have to take responsibility for it, and the responsibility is what is sometimes not like. Now people don't enjoy but no responsibility. That's why so many children are get killed in the womb of mother only, unfortunately. Anyway, we will go further. Prabhupada is telling. Now what is telling? This is nice point. Deha patra kalatradishu atma sanneshu sapi tesham brahmatto nidram pashyannapi na pashyati. Persons devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. After sufficiently experience, they still do not see their inevitable destruction. So this is the point. Because they have done so much indulgence sense gratification, pashyannapi na pashyati. They cannot see tesham pramatto nidanam. Pashyannapi. Pramatto is too attached, and they they behave and everything. Uh, there's so much. When we go in train and bus and other public places, we can see how people are so much attached. We feel, array, nothing is going to come with you. Why so much waste of time? But unfortunately, people don't understand this. I don't want to give so much class on detachment, but we have to understand it won't work here, and this life don't work like this. We have to come out of it. We have to work very hard to um, understand the spiritual knowledge. Only place we can work now when we are chanting. We should completely become calm, completely get absorbed in the holy name, completely focus on the holy name, slowly become more and more deeper in our chanting. We should go more deeper. That is what will going to help. If we become more and more deep, what happens is the things, superficial things that are happening externally, superficial things, they no more give any interest and they no more disturb us. That is what we all have to achieve, because they are our conditioning, they are holding us. But when we go deeper and deeper with our chanting, it's a meditation. We are meditating on the holy name, trying to focus, trying to hear, become more and more, or making our mind completely calm. Then external things will, then it, we can see the reality of the world. Then this pashanapina pashatina, the attachments will gradually go away. This tesham pramatto anedana, this automatically gets, because we come to the level of buddhi, and then we can see reality. Then we'll not get affected. If somebody comes and says, I purchased a big villa at this costliest place in the city, will not become envious. We say, oh, very good. And even if we get something also, that also will not affect. That is another problem. Problem is, even we cannot enjoy anything in this world. After some time we will say, oh, this is all. This is, even if I have a big villa, or if I have 1 BHK, when I sleep, I have to sleep in only one room. I cannot sleep in all rooms, and I have to clean. So much time goes in maintaining and cleaning this. If I have a small house, just 2 minutes I can clean my room and peacefully sleep. Now it takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and if I cannot clean, I have to put a maid and I have to fight with the maid because maid is trying to bunk and all. So many complications are there. Life becomes complicated. Of course, somebody can handle it and become, still remain Krishna conscious, but simple life is always benefiting. It is, even if one room also for me to clean every day, I feel, my God, every day I have to clean. So much laziness comes. That is another problem. But if we keep simple, it is easy. We life become easy, and we have to very cool, and there is no anxiety. Peacefully chant, meditate on the holy name, get more and more deeper in the chanting. That is what we all need. If we become deeper, then external, like, no, on the surface of the ocean there will be waves and so many disturbances. If you go deeper in the ocean is very cool, calm, and no, like that. Prabhupada says this material world is called world of death. Every living being, beginning from Brahma, whose duration of life is some thousands of millions of years, down to the germs who lives for few seconds only, is struggling for existence. Therefore, this life is as short as, is a sort of fight with material nature. Everybody is fighting. Only thing is, we cannot stop fighting, and problem is we can never win also. Which imposes death upon all. In the human form of life, a living being is competent enough to come to an understanding of this great struggle for existence. But being too attached to family members, society, country, etc., he wants to win over the invincible material nature by the aid of bodily strength, children, wife, relatives, etc. Although he is sufficiently experienced in the matter by dint of past experience and previous examples of his deceased predecessors, he does not see that so-called fighting soldiers like the children, relatives, society members, and countrymen, and are all fallible in the great struggle. That means he saw that Prabhupada is, one should examine the fact that his father or his father's father has already died, and that he himself is therefore also sure to die, and similarly his children, who are the future fathers of their children, will also die in due course. No one will survive in this struggle with the material nature. So what is the point? Like, no, there are so many people more intelligent than us, more stronger than us, more powerful, more smarter in every aspects. They all try to enjoy in this material world. They all struggled, but everybody failed. What is the hope for us? Better stop struggling here. Go take spirituality, be peaceful. Like, there are Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, they are more powerful. If what they are trying to change everything, they change their destinies also. How could? Because they could do such intense tapasya, and they could get whatever they want in this material world. That's how we can enjoy in this world. If you want to enjoy in this world, you do sufficient tapasya, which is sufficient for that enjoyment, and then you can get that enjoyment. Hiranyakashipu did so much tapasya and he was getting everything. He is able to control all the directions. All the Panchamahabhutas were under his control. If he says, I want rain, means he would get rain. If he says, from a lemon tree, I want mango, lemon tree would give mango. He was having such a control on the nature also. But what Prahlad says that that he asks, what did you learn? He says, oh, my dear father, no, Tatsadamanya Suravarya Dehina Sada Samudvigna Diyam Asatgrahayat. He says, Are Tatsadamanya Suravarya Dehinam, you are the best of the demons, but Sada Samudvigna Diyam. Your Udvigna means tension, Samudvigna means highly tensed, stress, and Sada means always. You are always in highly tension state. It is as if you are writing a public exam just 1 hour before you are writing the entrance exam, or your children writing the entrance exam. Now you may not write. How much tension it is. And can you imagine every day, all the day, if you are having such type of tension? And Parala says, Hiranyakashipu, you are in that state because this is a dream. This is the problem, and the attachment and all. Even Hiranyakashipu was not successful. That's what. The history of human society definitely proves it. Yet the foolish people still suggest that in the future they'll be able to live peacefully with the help of material science. This poor fund of knowledge exhibited by human society is certainly misleading, and it is all due to ignorance, ignoring the constitution of the living soul. The material world exists only as a dream due to our attachment to it. Otherwise, the living soul is always different from the material matter. So, the great ocean of material nature is tossing with the waves of time and so-called living conditions, sometimes like foaming bubbles which appear before us as bodily self, wife, society, countrymen. Due to lack of knowledge of the selves, we become victimized by the force of ignorance and thus spoil the valuable energy of human life in vain, searching after permanent living conditions which are impossible in this material world. Everybody wants permanent house, permanent job, permanent wife or husband, because that is also not permanent nowadays. But they don't get only. That is the point. They want anything permanent, but this material world is only temporary. Dukhalema Shashwatam. We want Sukha and Shashwata, which is not of this material world. So there is a problem, right? And Prabhupada is very heavy. This Sukadeva Goswami said even Prabhupada is very, very direct. He is not hiding. He said so-called friends, relatives, and wife and children are not only fallible, but also bewildered by the outward glamour of material existence. As such, they cannot save us. Still, we think we are safe within the orbit of family, society, or country. This is very, very great illusion. Sometimes parents think they can protect their children. Balasya Sharano, Pedro Pralas is not possible. And sometimes children want to protect their parents. And in any case, they are depending, because previously people used to depend on family members. Now they depend on insurance companies. They depend on their mutual funds and all these things. But money also cannot do anything. All the big ministers and chief ministers and ministers and cabinet ministers or the central ministers or prime ministers, everybody dies. The whole material advancement of human civilization like a decoration of a dead body. Mandanam Lokaranjanam. Apranasya hi desasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam purpose. Everyone is a dead body flapping only for a few seconds. We're discussing the Bhakti Maharaj says. Dead body still alive. His book is there in Die Before You Die. Dead body still alive. All our bodies, if we clearly observe, no? It's a dead body only. We are all having dead bodies. Because the soul is there, it is flapping for some time. As soon as the soul goes, the body is just burnt or thrown into Ganges like that. It's a dead body flapping only for few days. Net All the energy of human being is wasted in the decoration of the dead body. So there was so much cosmetic industry is booming. Sukadeva Goswami is pointing out the duty of human being after showing the actual position of bewildered human activities. Persons who are devoid of knowledge of Atma Tattva are misguided, but those who are devotees of the Lord and have perfect realization of the transcendental knowledge are not bewildered. Therefore, see, after telling these three shlokas, one is uh, that Deha Patrakala, this is before the shloka. Hmm, what is that? Yeah, these three shlokas. Shrotavyadini Radhendra Ninam Santi Sahasra Apashyatam Atmatatam Griha Grihmedinam. They are just interested in all this, hearing this. And then second is says Nidra Hete Naktam Vyavaya Navashar. Their day and night goes in certain way. And Deha Patrakalattaradishu. Atma Tesham Pramatto Nidram. Too much attached. They can never understand. Therefore, he says Tasma. Therefore, for this reason, Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Srotavya Kirtatavyascha Smatavya Ichchata Abhyam. This is a very important shloka. Two concluding shlokas will come in this chapter. Two conclusions. This is one conclusion. He says, therefore, O descendant of King of Bharata, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about. Now, for us, there is only option. We are also caught up in this metal world like this. So what is option for us? We have two options. What is option? We have to chant and hear, and also we have to regularly uh, we have to chant the holy name with absorption. Just get absorbed in chanting the holy name. Morning time, no activity, just chant. Get up in the morning, focus, go deeper and deeper in chanting, try to hear the holy name, and that's all. We are successful. No need to do anything separate in this life. Just if we can, at the end of life, if we are able to focus on the holy name and very peacefully, coolly, if we can chant the holy name, we are out. We can get out of this metal world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives such a simple method, such a powerful method, such a easy method, and we should not, that's why Maduram Madurebhyopi Mangalebhyopi Mangalam Pavanam Pavanebhyopi Harer Namaiva Kevalam Brahmastambha Paryantam Sarvam Mayamayam Jagat Satyam Punah Satyam Harer Namaiva Kevalam. This is the only reality, and I say the only reality. That's what the translation. This is and Kacharyam Vismitam Ratnam Harer Namaiva Kevalam. Aho Dukkham Mahadukkham Dukha Dukkataram Yata. Kacharyam Vismitam Ratnam. What is the lamentation? Oh, what a great lamentation. That I got such a easy, simple process to get out of this material world, but I am thinking diamond to be some pieces of glass. What is great calamity? But if we can chant the holy name and focus on it, hear the Krishna Katha, every day you come very, at least religiously also, if you sit in Bhagavatam class, we'll get some benefit. Don't miss the classes. And you may have any number of engagements, but we should not miss Bhagavatam class because that will save us. We may think, oh, Prabhuji, some other things are important. Nothing is important only in this world. Only thing is we want to get out of it because we have very less time. Now, to get absorbed in the holy name, it takes so much time for us because mind does not listen. We may think, oh, so much time I have. But as more and more time goes, now more and more conditions becomes more and more reinforced. To get out of it is very difficult. It's not that after 60, after 50 years I'll sit and no, I'll peacefully chant. After 50, it's more difficult. After 60 is much more difficult. A very rare cases people can do concentrate at that age. We have to do it now only. We may have so many other engagements, but we should know that it is not tomorrow. It's today, and not even today. It's now only. When I am chanting now, this is the time I should do it. At least we should keep it as that much priority. Otherwise, it won't happen. It will. We are just. Yeah, maybe after hearing one day I'll become serious. So this postponing is there in our mind. That laziness is there. These are our enemies. And but here it is said, we want to get out of it. Just glorify, remember the personality. So these three things people do: Shrotavya, Kirtya, Smartavya. They they glorify, or they hear, they glorify, or they remember. But they do with the materialistic things. Either if we are here, if people are sitting in front of TV, then the Shrotavya, Kirtitavya, Smartavya is completely different. But if we are sitting with Bhagavatam every day, no matter we may not like, also we have to give this priority. Very, you may say, Proje, I'm not able to become serious. But one thing we can do is every day you hear nicely this Bhagavatam classes. Na? What will happen? Slowly, slowly that seriousness will develop. Even I'm not so serious about my chanting now. But if we start very, very sincerely trying one activity of hearing very sincerely, that itself is sufficient. Very soon we will be chanting the holy name with feelings. That is the formula. That's what actually Sudhi Goswami is going to tell in further shlokas. So that is the hope. Wherever we can do, a little bit start from there. Like yesterday only, I had this experience. I chanted my rounds. I wanted to chant extra, but I was not getting impetus only. I was saying, oh, I want to chant extra, but I am not feeling. Suddenly, I got call from a devotee, and few minutes with the devotee, and the devotee inspired. This is how we chant. This is how we chant, and immediately I could chant. I sat and for next few hours I could happily chant because I had a desire, but I was not. The modes of material nature affect us. Tamaguna and Rajaguna is there so much. But Krishna is ready to help. So he will send some devotee who will support us in that way. So when we show our sincerity to Krishna by regularly attending Bhagavatam, Krishna will definitely help. He will make that inspiration. He will give some guidance in that. And here he says, O descendant of Bharata, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of God, who is the super soul, the controller and savior from all miseries. In the previous verse, Srila Sukadeva Goswami has described how the foolish materially attached men are wasting their valuable time in improvement of material conditions of life by sleeping, indulgence in sex life, developing economic conditions, and maintaining a band of relatives who are to be vanquished in the air of oblivion. Such a nice purport, Prabhupada writes. You see how people are in one line. Prabhupada is telling either they are improving their material conditions of life by sleeping. They want nice house to sleep nicely, big beds, big air conditioners, and then indulgence in sex life, economic development, and in this nice house they want to have a big TV which is as big as the wall of the in the room, and then they want to have big facilities and swimming pool also in the house, and home theater, swimming pools, and I don't know what not. And then they want to have developed economic conditions and maintaining a band of relatives. More you have money, more you have relatives also. You want to maintain them and show that, see, I'm maintaining. I have so much. This Prabhupada says it's all waste. Foolish metal. Being engaged in all these materialistic activities, the living soul entangles himself in the cycle of law of fruitive actions. This entails the chain of birth and death in the 84 lakh species of life, the aquatics, the vegetables, the reptiles, the birds, the beasts, the uncivilized men. Then again, the civilized human form, which is the chance for getting out of the cycle of fruitive actions. Therefore, if one desires freedom from the vicious cycle, then one must cease to act as a karmi or enjoyer of the results of his own work, good or bad. One should not do anything either good or bad of his own account, but must execute everything on behalf of the Supreme Lord, the ultimate proprietor of everything. That way, this process of doing work is recommended in Bhagavad Gita also, where instruction is given for working for the Lord's account. Et karosha dasna siddhi hosit. Et tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushvavan. Therefore, one should first of all hear about the Lord. When one has perfectly and scrutinized heard, one must glorify his acts and deeds, and thus it will become possible to remember constantly the transcendental nature of the Lord. Hearing about and glorifying the Lord are identical with the transcendental nature of the Lord, and by so doing, one will be always in the association of Lord, thus brings freedom from all sorts of fear. And this is what Prabhupada is telling. The Lord is the super soul present in the heart of all living beings, and thus by the above hearing and glorifying process, the Lord invites the association of all his creations. This process of hearing about the glorifying the Lord is applicable for everyone, whoever he may be, and will lead one to the ultimate success in everything in which one may be engaged by providence. There are many classes of human beings, the fruitive workers, the empiric philosophers, the mystic yogis, and ultimately unallowed devotees. For all of them, one and the same process applicable for achieving the desired success. Everyone wants to free from all kinds of fear, and everyone wants to the fullest extent of happiness in life. The perfect process for achieving this here and now is recommended in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is uttered by such a great authority of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. All a person's activities become molded into spiritual activity by hearing about and glorifying the Lord. That is the simple thing. That's what I want to chant nicely now. Just I have to hear Bhagavatam every day. That's all. No need to do anything. All this conception of material miseries becomes completely vanquished. And then there is nice shloka. Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janmalabha Parapumsam Ante Narayana Smriti. This is the purpose of life. This is very nice shloka. We will any questions, comments till now before I go further with this shloka? Hope everything is clear. You all know all these things. I'm just trying to make you remember them because anybody comes in ISKCON, they must be hearing from per day on this philosophy. It is not new thing, but we need to be reminded every time. When I'm speaking, I'm reminding myself like that. This is just to make us conscious and focus on the purpose, the goal. This is actually the third, Stephen Covey's 7 habits of a successful person. Third habit, what he says is uh, work with end in mind. Start with end in mind. That's what he says. Start with end in mind. Means we should know what I want to achieve, and based on that, I should start. I want this in end. That's what I like. Say I want to go. I want to become a rich person, or I want to become sports player. We need to know the end very, very clearly, and then only start. Then definitely you will get success. This is what his formula. We also have the same formula. And what he says is you should remind of your goal every day. And that's what we are doing. Every day Bhagavatam class, 1 hour. 1 hour we are reminding ourselves this is the purpose of life. This is the purpose of life. We are reminding our end. Our end is Prema Pumarto Mahan. We want to achieve the highest love for Krishna. I want to achieve love for Krishna. That is the highest thing. So every day, 1 hour, we are reminding ourselves of that. And whole day we have to act with this as the purpose. Acting, starting with end in mind. We have this formula. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi is already Krishna told. Stephen Covey, he makes money by telling this. Krishna does it free. That's all. Difference is not so much. But the point is, we are reminding ourselves every day 1 hour of this point. And that is a very important thing. 1 hour every day. Why we have to attend classes? We can do more also. But to remind us of this purpose, end in mind. That's what. Here, end is what? Ante Narayana Smriti. Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janmalava Parapumsam Ante Narayana Smriti. The highest perfection of life achieved either by complete knowledge of matter and spirit, that means through jnana. You want to achieve through jnana by process of mystic process. This is yoga process, practice of mystic powers, or by perfect discharge of occupational duties. This is karma. Either by jnana or yoga or karma, what should be the ultimate thing? Is to remember the personality of God at the end of life. If you are perfected in jnana or yoga or karma, what should happen to a person? He should be able to remember Krishna at the end of life. Ante Narayana Smriti. If it does not happen, then what? It's waste. You have wasted your life. And now just think how he's such a big leader of the society. He was Prime Minister of India for so many years. His life is successful. Yes, if he was able to remember Krishna at the time of death, then it is successful. Otherwise, what? Shramayeve Kevalam Mandanam Lokaranjanam. That's what Bhagavatam gives the standard. That is why we should not adore or appreciate materialistic people, no matter how great they are, because that is not the greatness what we want. We appreciate the people who are able to, he may be some simple housewife, she is chanting the holy name, and at the end of life, she is chanting the holy name, remembering Krishna and leaving her body. For us, she is the hero. For us, this is what we want. We don't want to be, oh, 10 lakh people came when he died. Everybody was appreciating him, glorifying him. And no, for 10 days there was a mourning session in the whole country was mourning for him. Such a great person. He's great only materially. Because what happened to his soul? It to go into another body and continue the cycle in the cycle of birth and death. But this housewife, she was just doing some simple things. Nobody knows except in our neighbors, few people and few devotees here and there. But she is the hero for us because she's able to remember Krishna at the time of death. What happened to the soul of her soul? She went back home, back to Godhead. That is what is success. What we consider success now, that is also that's why we should not keep the no people keep status national flag of India or other things. This is all not correct. For devotees, that is not the status they should keep. They should keep uh, they should keep somebody who has some simple Matsu or some Prabhuji or somebody who chanted the holy name and left this world. They are our heroes. That's what we want. Our soul, we want to get out of this metal body, metal world, and we want to liberate our soul. We should not keep any material heroes in our life. If we are so much into all this adoring and all these things, we are just wasting our time. Yeah, so much big illusion. This is all illusion only. People are, oh, they're so much appreciating prime minister or chief minister of some state. This person is nice, that person is nice. They are nice, but not for us. They are not for us. We should not so much adore them. We appreciate, we respect them. They are doing something good for society. We respect them. We appreciate what their activities are, their hard work. But we don't want it because that is not spiritual. That's material only, but we need some material comforts and all to practice spirituality. That's why we try to encourage them. But we should, because ultimately what their aim is, what they want to be, they want to keep this material world a happy place. But it is possible to make this material world happy place. Our prime minister or anybody who is doing what they are ultimately trying to do, they are trying to make this material world a happy place. Is it possible? Not possible. This metal world is a, you cannot make it no matter how much. Even Krishna came also. There was big wars, and Krishna said, okay. He made Yudhishthir Maharaj king, and that's for how long? 36 years. And after that, Parikshit Maharaj, that's all finished. For so big Dwapar Yuga, so big Kali Yuga, Krishna came for few years, he could establish. Of course, Lord Ram could do for so many years, thousands of years, but ultimately it's a material world only. You cannot do anything permanent here. Prabhupada writes, Narayan is the transcendental personality of God beyond the material creation. Everything that is created, sustained, and in the end, and at the end, annihilated is within the compass of the Mahatattva, material principle, and is known as the material world. The existence of Narayana or the personality of God, it is not within the jurisdiction of this Mahatattva, and as such, the name, form, attributes, etc. of Narayana are beyond the jurisdiction of material world. We want to go beyond this ocean. This is a causal ocean. Anything in this material world happening is cause and effect. But we want to go beyond the causal ocean. That is the causeless world. That's what Krishna is wanting from all of us. The speculations of empirical philosophy which discharge matter and spirit, this is Prabhupada is telling all these things, if they are not able to remember Krishna, it's waste of life. This is possible only by association of pure devotees. That's all. If you want to remember Narayana, possible only. There are many historical instances of achievement of spiritual perfection, such as that of the Sanaka Rishis or the nine celebrated Yogendra, who attained perfection only after being situated in devotional service. So remembering Krishna is possible, Prabhupada is telling, only with help of devotional service. Everyone is anxious to achieve the highest perfection of his particular activity, and is indicated herein that such perfection is Narayana Smriti, for which everyone must endeavor his best. This, in other words, this life should be molded in such a manner that one is able to progressively remember the personality of God at in every step of life. This is the secret. See, please remember this all the time. Our life should be in such a way, molded in such a manner that one should be able to progressively remember the personality. The life we should not have so much heavy work. We should earn in such a way that we need not work very hard. We just some work which is able to maintain us remaining all time for Krishna. And that's why he says, Prayana Muniyo Raja Nivritta Vidhi Seditaha Nirguna Syat Pravate Sma Gunanukatane Hari. O king, mainly the topmost transcendentalists who are above the regulative principles and restrictions takes mainly the topmost transcendentalists who are above the regulative principles and restrictions take pleasure in describing the glories of Lord. And we should also be in that category. We should be happy in the topmost category of transcendentalist. And that is true also. We are all in that category. We are every day sitting and hearing. The topmost translate is liberated soul, therefore not within the purview of regulative principles. A neophyte who is intended to be promoted to the spiritual plane is guided by the spiritual master under the regulative principles. He must be compared to a patient who is treated by various restrictions under medical jurisdiction. Generally, liberated souls take pleasure in describing the transcendental activities. As mentioned above, since Narayana Hari, the personality of God, it is beyond the material creation, his form and attributes are not material. The topmost transcendentalists are liberated souls, souls realized him by advanced experience of transcendental knowledge, and therefore they take pleasure in discussing on the transcendental activities of the Lord. And Lord's activities are Janma Karma Chime Divyam. They are all transcendental. This is what Prabhupada is telling. And they are not interested in anything material. And Vedic literature also it is confirmed the Supreme Lord is one. And Prabhupada says, therefore, the highest perfection of transcendental realization take pleasure in hearing and describing the transcendental qualities of the Lord. So, any questions? We'll take one more verse. Now we have nice opportunity. Yes, Chandra, comment.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question is like we understand that whatever suffering one is getting is due to his own previous karmas. So when we see other any other person suffering, then this comes that it is due to his karma. So that compassion or that maybe helping attitude will not come, because my daughter was also asking this question. ये तो उनके कर्मा ही है ना मम्मी. So I want to know, Prabhuji, then if we will see through this, then our compassionate heart will weaken, na Prabhuji. So how to understand this? That this is due to your karma or you are suffering because of your karmas only, na? So Prabhuji.
Yeah, we have to be devotee. Na, he is very soft-hearted. When he see other people going through pain, he understands. Even though they are suffering from their karma, say now if my brother or sister they are suffering, they are getting some fever or they got some problem. I know that is their karma, but still I try to show some concern. I'll ask them, okay, did you go to hospital? Or if I need, I take them to hospital, or I try to help them even though I know they are it is going through according to their karma. If it is happening to our family members, we still help them to come out of that pain, right? That means we show compassion. We know it is their karma, but we are not hard-hearted. He said, "You suffer your karma. You just lay down and suffer and rot." No, I'll go and chant my rounds. No, we take time and we help them. Similarly, we help others. But the real help we can give to all living entities, they are suffering because they are away from Krishna. So real compassion, that's why, is to bring everybody towards. When Prabhupada saw so much living entities suffering, he understands. He was getting tears in his eyes out of compassion. And the main reason everybody is suffering, actually, we are all suffering. That's, it's not them only. We are also suffering. We are suffering because we are away from Krishna. The first time when I read Prabhupada book, Prabhupada wrote in that, you are suffering because you are away from Krishna. That sucks so much. And then after that, whenever I see people suffering, I used to see, oh, these are suffering because they are away from Krishna. Whenever I see beggars or somebody, and immediately I used to relate to myself. I am also suffering because I am away from Krishna. So let me go on Krishna. So I went and joined ashram. The point is, we feel that they are suffering because they are creating more and more trouble to them. We have to help them to understand, Are come closer to Krishna. That's how we show our compassion to them. We know if they come to Krishna, then they will no more suffer. Why we want them to continue like that? We know it is not happening by chance. If somebody, if in this life some person, he did so much wrong, sometimes they sell their sisters or daughters or somebody and to some wrong places. Now what will happen to that person in next life? He'll be very badly getting reaction for it. Then we say, yeah, it is his reaction, but we should show compassion for, by giving them spiritual knowledge, bringing them closer to Krishna. In that way we can help them. Clear, Mataji?
Okay. Yeah, so like we should understand they are suffering because of their previous karmas, but now what help we can give is so that they will not suffer in future, na Prabhuji?
Yeah.
And Prabhuji, when it is said that when Guru Maharaj and then whom we take Diksha, they get suffering because of disciples' karma. But Prabhuji, now we clearly understand that we don't have karma's head now. It is only under Krishna's whatever suffering we are getting when we come under, when we progress in spiritual life, we are under that direct direction of Krishna. So no more suffering due to karma, but because whatever Krishna want us to go through so that we can get purified. So why then it is said that that the spiritual master is suffering due to disciples' karmas?
No. Spiritual master don't suffer because of disciples' karma.
So
That is
whatever
not.
they get like any health issues, and also it said na he's suffering because of our disciples' karmas and all. It's, so would you please clarify?
They actually want to say that, okay, you perform nicely, otherwise the guru will get reaction. But that is not actually completely true, because anything that happens to guru is directly under control. Of course, it is his responsibility. If he's not doing his responsibility properly of guiding and training the disables, then definitely he is going to be punished by Krishna. The punishment, if disables are not following the standards, Krishna will take responsibility of this person. Alright, you have accepted them, you accepted the responsibility of the disables, but you are not training your disables to do the standard. Then there is a reaction for the guru in that way. But it is not because of karma, it is because of Krishna's arrangement only. If guru is responsible and is doing, sometimes still he is going through certain problems, that is also Krishna's arrangement to teach and to glorify that devotee. Now if you say is only Japatak Maharaj, now how can we know that what is the highest standard of devotion unless Maharaj shows at this level, at this type of pain and all. If you see, what is Jivan Mukta? Jivan Mukta means a person who is in the body but still is a liberated. How can we know such a person? He is, and now how many of his disciples will complain? Oh my, I have some fever, I cannot chant. I have some health issues, I cannot chant. No, none of his disciples can complain only. Array, you see your Guru Maharaj, he is completing his rounds, he is chanting and he is writing books also. And what state he is writing? He needs 7 people around to take care of him. Nothing is working in his body. Everything is replaced. Still at that level, he is working so hard and showing such an example. None of his disciples can complain whole life. Whole life they have to chant only until the last moment of their death. They have to chant because the guru is showing the example. This is how you should serve Krishna till you die. And at this age is already, he cannot walk properly and nothing is there, still is traveling around the world and preaching. And GBC meetings I saw, after the meeting many of them they take rest, and whole day Maharaj sitting in the meeting, actively participating, and used to come and give in the evening classes. And now, what enthusiasm, what a spirit, what a spirit of preaching, and he's giving diksha to thousands of people. This is actually what Krishna is trying to help. He is teaching through that devotees. They are showing how much they have control on their mind, how much they have devotion, how much they are sacrificing for me. This is what Krishna is doing. This is what, that's why the gurus and anybody, they go through certain suffering. Krishna is showing them as an example for his disciples, and in that way helping everybody. It is not just karma. Some cases it is there, but it is, even in that case also, if guru is not properly training his disciples, that is, but that is also not karma, because karma is when Krishna is not involved, then only it is karma. Any place Krishna is involved, there is no karma. Every living entity has two types of connection with Krishna. One is direct connection, one is indirect connection. Indirect connection is karma. Direct connection is where Krishna is directly involved. In devotees cases, Krishna is directly involved, it is not called karma then. When you say I don't want Krishna, then indirectly you are connected, because every living entity in this world is connected to Krishna only, either directly or indirectly. Directly is what we want, direct. Some people who don't accept Krishna, they are indirectly connected. It's like that.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Any questions? Satyamata, even Prabhupada said, but Mahatmas suffer to teach us only and to elevate us, but they don't suffer internally. Actually, they also go through suffering, but they don't, it affects and it does not affect. Body affects, but mind is completely aloof. And yeah, the others won't have attracted. Yeah, their mind is aloof. They're affected, but they're not affected. Affected in the sense, body may get affected, but mind is not affected. That is very important for us also. That's why we need to chant with great absorption, with great intensity, and try to focus, put so much of your efforts in chanting, because our mind, after some time, when body does not cooperate, also mind continues to do devotional service. That is what we want to achieve at the end of life, because after some time the body will not cooperate with us, but mind you already trained, so mind will cooperate in any situations, any type of anything that is happening. Mind peacefully chants Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is what we want. Otherwise it is very risky if we are not trained mind at the end of life. Yadavadi mama cheta Krishna padara vindyo namanam, sorry, the what is it, प्राण प्रयाण समये कपवात पित्तो कंठावनोदन विदो स्मरणं कुतस्ते कृष्ण त्वदीय पदपंकज पंजरांतम अद्वैतमे विशतु मानस राजहंस. So this is what Kulashekar Alva says. He says, oh, at the time of death, I don't know, kapvat pit comes and I will not be able to remember you. Now my mind is so fresh, so enthusiastic, chanting, remembering you. Let you take my life now so that I'll remember you and I'll come back to you. That's what he is praying. This is what we all want, that we train our mind in such a way that even though body does not cooperate, that's what is happening, no? These great Vaishnavas, how they are able to do it, because they have trained their mind so nicely when they were very healthy. They did so much. Now no matter what happened to body, mind will say no, only Krishna. So like that. And then now what Sudev Goswami is telling, see, this is all grasta and this is so much attachment. Therefore, the purpose is to remember Narayan at the time of death. How to do it? Every time Shrotavya, Kirtavya, Smartavya, you just chant. And the intelligent people, the great transcendentalists, they always glorify the Lord. And how they glorify? By Idam Bhagavatam Namam. This is called Bhagavatam. This Puranam Brahma Samhitam. This glorification, the story past tense of Lord is Bhagavatam. This is Brahma Samhitam. This is the essence of Vedas, Brahma Samhitam. Adi Tvan Dwaparado Putra Dvaipayano Daham. So at the beginning of the end of Dwapara Yuga, beginning of Kali Yuga, my father Vyasdev, he gave this knowledge to me. So no, that's what I am going to tell you. That's what is the next shloka. Thank you all very much. We will continue this discussion tomorrow, and they are very nice verses also. This section, I think till he starts explaining Etarnirvidyamanam, they are very nice shlokas. Till he gives the example of Katvang Rajashi and 14, 16, 17, there's until this end of this section, we'll try to do it tomorrow. And then after that, it is a description of Virat Rupa. That is first Virat Rupa of second canto. Okay, Hare Krishna. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, yes, Mataji, you have a question.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, I just have one question, okay? You're already a brahmachari, you're in the temple, you're in such a wonderful atmosphere. You're, doing your daily services like giving Bhagavatam class, you've been chanting, no? But I would like to know what is the advantage that now you have gone to Vrindavan, to spend this month, holy month there. So I just want to know what special advantage you're going to take over there.
Oh, here Matji, Vrindavan, our chanting will improve very nice. You will get one benefit in Vrindavan is the chanting becomes very easy compared to any other place. Mayapur, and for me more Vrindavan. For many of them, they have this experience. Chanting is so easy. Whole day you can chant also. You don't feel that that heaviness in the mind. Generally, our mind resists so badly when we want to chant. But in Vrindavan, mind does not, it cooperates. By mercy of Radharani, you will be peacefully able to practice, and the whole atmosphere is surcharged, and you have nice kirtans all the time going on, and because everybody is in that mood, so that's why whole environment is towards Krishna. It becomes very very easy to practice Krishna conscious. Anytime, any direction, anything you do, immediately you are in that, you'll have that spiritual environment. You'll see somebody chanting, somebody so sincerely chanting, and very young people, they are so intensely doing Krishna conscious that inspires also. And very small children or some very young people, they're in 20s, but they're so much absorbed in holy name chanting. It so inspires, and that is the advantage we have. It's really advantage. So, sometimes staying in Dham is very, very, and we cannot stay on our own. It's the blessings of Radharani only. If Radharani blesses, then we can stay whatever time. And that's all. That's what I am understanding. Some mercy is needed for some time to stay and practice.
Okay. No, Prabhu, because you're already in a temple, you're all in the same atmosphere all the time. So I just want to know what.
Still, there is a difference, Mataji. Vrindavan is like our home only. So after staying anywhere, you come home, there is so much difference. In any other place, Vrindavan, there is there is a difference, because here Krishna is always there. His leelas are going on. His Nitya Leela is going on here. And all the Goswamis are there. Their bhajan, their effect of bhajan is there. And so many great Vaishnavas, they have chanted at this place and did bhajan. So that all affects us. You go to any of the samadhis or any temples, immediately you feel that I want
to. So we should take advantage of such holy places and sit and chant there.
Yeah, we get desire that I also want Krishna. But when we are in city and with the temple and other things, we may want many other things. I want preach, I want this, I want that. And when we come to Vrindavan, he'll say, I don't want anything. I just want Krishna only. Why I'm wasting my time?
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you all very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.